Ohio's Republican Governor John Kasich finds himself in a Republican presidential primary once again with Donald Trump. He will be able to humiliate Donald Trump about the wall the way he tried to last year.
The Mexicans aren't going to build a wall that they're going to pay. Are you kidding me? The Mexicans are going to build a wall and pay for it. That's not going to happen.
The headline on Steve Bannon's Breitbart for most of the day was that Donald Trump is reportedly embarrassed by the lack of progress on the border wall. In today's utterly pointless White House press briefing, reporters played the game of asking questions to the person who doesn't know any answers.
Sir, the president promised over and over again during the campaign that Mexico would pay for the wall. So why is he now threatening a government shutdown if Congress won't pay for it?
The president's committed to making sure this gets done.
Why is he threatening a shutdown over paying for it? I mean, again, he said over and over again, he talked about the campaign over and over again. He said Mexico's going to pay for the wall. He asked people, his crowds chanted back, and Mexico's going to pay for it. And now he's threatening a shutdown of the government.
Now, once again, the president's committed to making sure this happens, and we're going to push forward.
And once again, the press secretary could not answer the question of why is the president threatening a government shutdown over the wall that Mexico was supposed to pay for. Now that the president has switched from threatening Mexico about paying for the wall to threatening the United States Congress about paying for the wall, threatening the American people about paying for the wall, naturally, the White House got this question today.
Since the president is going full court press threatening a shutdown over the funding of the wall, does that mean he is abandoning any efforts to negotiate with Mexico any payment for construction of the wall?
I certainly don't think any efforts have been abandoned.
Yeah, okay, but the president did abandon it in a phone call with the president of Mexico, the transcript of which was leaked by the Trump White House. That was the phone call in which the president begged the president of Mexico to simply please stop talking about the wall, to simply say please stop saying that you're not going to pay for it. To which the president of Mexico said to Donald Trump, my position has been and will continue to be very firm, saying that Mexico cannot pay for that wall. Everyone in the world now knows that Donald Trump has completely given up on getting Mexico to pay for the wall, and Mexico is not going to pay one penny for that wall. And so the White House press secretary today, instead of telling the truth about that, chose the most childish response she possibly could have.
On this threat of the government shutdown if Congress doesn't secure funding for this wall, how is that not a concession from this White House that Mexico isn't actually going to pay for this wall and American taxpayers will?
Again, this is something the president's committed to. He's committed to protecting American lives, and doing that through the border wall is something that's important. It's a priority, and we're moving forward with it.
But he's not saying that Mexico is going to pay for it.
He hasn't said they're not either.
He hasn't said they're not. Your average first grader couldn't do better than that. But the average first grader also could not do worse than that. That's the grade level you're watching in the White House press briefing rooms now, first grade. Here is the final entry in the wall discussion today in the very silly game of asking the questions to the person who does not know the answer to the questions and does not even know what an answer is.
President Trump said, if we have to close down our government, we're building that wall. Does he stand by that statement?
Look, I think the president's been clear that this is a priority. Protecting American citizens is a priority, something he's committed to, and we're going to, as I've said multiple times today, he's committed to seeing that through.
Is there a need to force a government shutdown to get the wall built?
I think I've answered this question several times.
No, you haven't answered the question, not once. You haven't come close to answering the question, will the president try to shut down the government in order to get the wall paid for? It is just a bold-faced lie to stand up there at the end of that sequence and say, I think I've answered this question several times. Try that in court sometime when you never answer the question. That is a lie. And the years of Trump lying about the wall might be, in the next presidential campaign, the single clearest, simplest, most effective way of showing Republican voters in the primaries the two most important things about Donald Trump. One, he tells gigantic lies like nothing we've ever seen before in American politics. And two, He is the most ineffective president of the United States that we have ever had. 7 months into the Trump presidency, the president is eagerly raising money for his reelection campaign, and Republicans increasingly believe the president is vulnerable to a Republican primary challenge.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.